What's up, guys? Day 11, 50-day burpee challenge. So I just want to address something. I'm at 40 burpees for the day so far. 10 more to knock out, which I will shortly do for you guys on camera. But I just want to say, if you're starting a burpee challenge or any kind of challenge like this, don't do it for other people. Humans are extremely fickle. What I mean by this is, 1 second they'll believe in you, next second they won't. 1 second they'll be your biggest supporter, next second they won't. So never do this for anyone else. It's a huge cliche that you hear a lot of times in fitness related endeavors is do it for yourself, right? A lot of people say that, but what it really means is, I'll give you an example. So when it comes to lifting, there were certain benchmarks that I wanted to hit, right? Because I always thought, like, if I hit this number, oh my God, I'm gonna prove them wrong, I'm gonna be happy, I'm gonna do all this stuff, right? But what happens is the first time I squatted 405, yes, it was amazing. Don't get me wrong. It felt like a drug. I felt like the strongest person on earth, even though I was far from it. You know, I felt amazing, all that good stuff. But then 10 minutes later, I'm like, oh man, I want to do more. You know, it's very fleeting. When I got 501 deadlift in a meet, my last meet, I got 501 deadlift for my last lift. And that was an amazing lift for me, right? Like 501 freaking pounds. I never thought in my life I could even, you know, deadlift 315, I'm doing 501, right? It's crazy. It's like probably my favorite lift of all time so far, other than 315 bench. And it was amazing, right? It felt great. You know, I was like exuberant, like I was enjoying it for the next 2 days. I was like, oh, hell yeah, you know? But then I wanted to hit more. I wanted to do it again. You know, I wanted to do more weight and then keep it going, right? Versus just focusing on that. So my whole point of this is it's very ephemeral. It's very short lasting, the feeling that you think you're gonna get. Like even this burpee journey, right? Like I started this burpee journey because I hit a plateau with my weight loss, and also like because I had seen all these videos of other people doing burpees. I'm like, wait a minute, burpees are a hell of an exercise, even though we avoid them because it's hard. I avoid them because it's hard and taxing, but then like, why can't I be one of those people that does it, right? That's how I started. But what it's become over the last 10, 11 days is like, I look forward to this, right? I'm not doing this for anyone else. I'm not doing this for my fiance, you know, I love her to death. I'm not doing this for my friends. I'm not doing this for my parents, my bloodline, any of that stuff, you know? Like, I'm doing it for me. Like, I remember how anxious and cautious I was when I first started doing burpees like 10, 11 days ago, you know? Like, I was almost scared to touch the floor and try. And now, like, you know, I'm nowhere near the levels that I want to be, but I'm much further along, right? Because I trusted the process. I learned the proper form. I trusted a rhythm. And I started putting the reps in. And then over time, day 11, it's become a little bit easier, right? Like I could knock out 10 burpees now in, you know, much easier fashion or much more efficient fashion from a breathing standpoint than I did previously. If you watch my first couple of videos, like I was almost scared to like, I almost felt like an imitator, right? I'm like, oh, am I doing burpees? Now it's like, it's just part of the routine. So put the work in, as I've been saying in previous videos, but you gotta put the work in, but you gotta do it for yourself, truly. You gotta have benchmarks, you gotta have goals. And then when you reach those and you're not trying to prove other people wrong, it means so much more, you know? It means like, holy crap, like I set out to do something, I actually stuck to it instead of like deviating. And I was, you know, accomplished said objective, right? And that's so much more meaningful than trying to prove other people wrong, because that stuff is short lasting. It doesn't last. You know, it's a very fleeting feeling. Like, oh yeah, it's like say there's a neighbor that doubts you, like you can't do burpees, you're a loser, blah, 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 and all that stuff. And then you do burpees every day and you get really good at it. And then you show him, right? And he's like, wow, I was wrong. And then you feel good for a little bit, but then it's like, okay, what now? That why is what keeps you going, right? So that's why you gotta do it for yourself and not to prove your neighbors wrong, your wife wrong, your fiance, your pet, whatever you wanna say. Like, you don't have to do it for any of them. Do it for yourself. So I'm gonna knock out these 10 burpees after my TED Talk. So let's do this. See, I knocked out 10. Still breathing hard, but my breathing's a lot better. compared to the initial videos, right? Still got room to improve, obviously, but we're getting there, guys. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.